You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Shameless After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Shameless After Show.
Welcome, everybody. Bing is for doing. We're here doing Shameless Season 3, Episode 8, called Where There's a Will.
Woohoo!
I am not Will, but I am Phil. Phil Sweetheart.
Good one.
See what you did there.
Yes.
So clever.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us yet again. Join alongside this week, I have JJ Jurgens.
Hi, guys.
And a new face to Shameless, but not a new face to AfterBuzz TV, Kathy Kelly.
Hello, everyone.
Make sure to tune into her Once Upon a Time podcast later.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it. Wrong choice of words. Wrong choice of words as I thought about the topic we're getting into. Let's talk about V and the mom.
Wow, a good one.
Well, Kathy, you picked it up. I wasn't picking it up because, I mean, I guess girls' intuition, whatever it may be, but talk about this.
I thought last episode, and I called this when I was watching the last episode, I thought that her mom was going to start coming on to... What's his name? I can't even think of it.
Kev.
Yeah. I thought that the mom was going to come on to Kev. I just didn't see this going well. I knew that it was going to be Maury Povich, which they said actually last episode. It was just going to turn into this like clusterfuck of a family thing, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, you knew when she started like really dressing up, and it's like, you know, the ladies that always make sure they have like, oh, the good bra and underwear on when they think they're gonna like somebody gonna see it. And yeah, she started getting a little too like well done for these little gatherings.
She looked like a high-class call girl.
Yeah, and then bringing her own music was just a nice, classy touch.
But is it not weird? This is her son-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, how? This is really messed up. Why?
It was very weird from the beginning. Even with the chicken baster, it was weird. And now it's gone to a whole new level. Like, I thought at the beginning, like last episode, at the beginning, they were... like they were separated and it wasn't this whole ordeal, and now it's the three of them in bed together, which is just completely creepy. Yeah. And I mean, it's gotten to the point where I don't even think they're drinking anymore. Like, they mention drinks, but they're not drinking anymore before they do the deed.
And then V walks in and sees it and is just appalled.
Well, there was that one point where she was actually in bed with them. Like, it was the three of them, and then Mama jumps in the center.
Yeah.
It was just...
I was saying Fiona walks in and is
Fiona,
like, yeah. It's like, what? Wait.
Let me ask you, obviously you have to be a pretty desperate woman to see this, and hopefully through your collective knowledge of the Real Housewives, Cougar Town, and all these different, like, a woman, obviously this could take place.
Well,
hopefully not, but you guys are the females. You break down the female brain.
Okay, well, this could not take place in any of my worlds at all. I could not imagine being in the bed with my mom and my boyfriend. Like, no, I could not. Would not turn me on in the slightest. I would not. I mean, yeah, but from their perspective, I understand that Via's like, I really want a baby that badly. Keep it in the family, the closest genes possible.
I don't care about. No, I understand. I understand V's. Yes, I understand V's perspective.
I guess the mom, if she said she hadn't been on a date and for so long, and she was feeling like her vagina was all dried up, and so she's like, well, at least if I'm gonna be like whored out, I'm gonna like, you know, instead of probably feeling super cheap and trashy, she's gonna show up looking nice and like make it a big like.
Can I tell you a secret? And then I'll let you talk, Kat. Here's the thing: if you haven't gotten laid and you really feel like if as a female you just walk up to a guy and say, hey, let's go up to Frank.
Guys are not picky. Guys are not picky. But at the same time, I think girls are picky. That's the thing. Like, girls choose who they sleep with. Guys, they will take pretty much whatever they're given. And so if she wanted to get laid, yes, she could get laid. She looks very good for her age. But the fact is, she wants a younger guy, or she wants someone who is going to make her feel sexy. She doesn't want to go up to Frank, who's probably going to smell of piss and like a garbage dump. She wants someone who, you know.
Well, I'm sure there's part of Kev that like revitalizes her. He's like this younger, hotter, like built guy, sexy guy, and she's like, okay.
I think it really did. It spiced something up back in her. But I think, honestly, I think that she's using them now. I don't think that it's about making a baby. I think that maybe she hasn't gone through menopause yet, but I don't think that she's fertile anymore, and she might know that and is just kind of like using the situation to her.
Well,
I think you might, go ahead.
Let's talk about the text at the end. You know, it was kind of a throwaway, but very revealing, you know, and I loved how he tried to make it a joke, and then it just wasn't a joke. Where is this going? And that, obviously, it's kind of more
she
a prediction.
Clearly has feelings. I mean, with most women, when they have sex with someone, they end up developing feelings for them, whether they want to or not. It's just, that's how women are. Not many can have sex without being emotionally detached. And I think that that's where she's kind of going. Like, she kind of thinks that she's in, I don't know whether she thinks she's in that family and she's like the third wheel now, or she just wants to kick V out and like just have Kev all to herself.
That's gonna be weird.
Oh, it's already weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think, should we leave it at that?
Yeah, I think that's good on that one.
Let's leave it at that.
I'm mad at Kev that he didn't tell her, though.
Yeah, it was pretty bad to like make it seem like, you know, that it was a joke, and then
Well,
kind of turn that.
Well, here's what I love about Kevin, the fact that he did tell the truth, but then he just saw her reaction.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right.
He's always trying to protect her and look out for her. So he just thought, maybe he can deal with this on his own, but I think it's going to get...
It's going to get weird.
Yeah.
All right, my favorite phrase of tonight's episode, me-tard, you-tard, retard nation.
Wow. They said that.
They brought it there.
They chanted it over and over.
Obviously, we'll talk about Sheila and Karen, but I want to talk about this real fast because I love Sheila's political take on this and her wanting to do something. And what is the reasoning behind this? Like, what does she really have to gain by joining this effort?
Well, I think she's trying to, you know, she doesn't have Jaime living there anymore, so I think it's some way for her to feel like she's still kind of connected and like doing something for her grandchild and like being involved and active. I think giving her something to do, kind of something, a focus.
I think that Sheila needs that. I mean, we've seen her go kind of from, like, people are her projects, and that's how she stays busy. So it was Karen for a while, then it was all the people that the older people that she was taking care of, then it was Frank for a while, and then it was Jaime, and now she doesn't have that, so she needs something to focus on to get her, you know, through. And I feel like she's very motherly, she's very nurturing, and since Jaime isn't there right now, she needs to focus her efforts on something, and that is this
retard nation.
But great to see her out there fighting like that, the woman who couldn't before even step foot outside of her front door, and then to be on the street like picking fights with the local, you know, grocery store owner. Yeah, like good for her.
I mean, it really was a great scene. Just them back at, I'm trying to choose my words, a retard meeting. There's no,
you can't get around it.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her because with Karen coming back, I feel like Karen is going to be her next project. She wants Karen to be better. And this group is like one of the ways where I think she wants to change Karen, and it's just not going to happen.
Well, let me argue against that. Right, so we've seen Sheila. She couldn't say no to Frank for a long time, and you know, today she finally kicks him out. You know, she's now taking a stand against Frank. Now she realizes today that Karen hurt her. I mean, this, if you really think about it, this is so deep. That will she forgive Karen?
I hope not.
I don't think she's gonna this time either. I think I kind of agree with you that that was kind of like the last straw for her. It's like she put up with so much before she left, and then it broke her heart when she left, you know, too. And then now to come back, and she thinks that maybe there's some sort of way they can mend this relationship. And I feel like that was like the lowest blow that Karen could possibly deliver to her. And the fact that she did it like right away, I feel like, and I don't feel like she's going to go easy on her and be nurturing. I hope not.
I think Karen had us all fooled this episode, and especially Sheila. And then now I feel like next episode we're gonna see a lot more of like the backlash from that and people not being so receptive to her coming home.
Yeah, I mean, we were so overjoyed when Karen's back, Karen, and the new
I wasn't happy.
Oh, you're smart.
I know she's a little shit starter, so.
I gotta say, like, because I was over Mandy, like, it was kind of blah for me, that storyline. So it's like, yeah, I think, like, I'm actually still glad Karen's back. Like, I hate her, but it's
She'll
like,
bring
I
the
love to
drama.
hate her. Yeah, because she is such a little shit stirrer that I, like, enjoy watching what she, you know, and again, like, tonight with Lip, we talked to you, like, well, that wasn't the look. And we're like, no, that was the look. We're like, Phil, that's the look. He still is in love with her. She still, like, had such an impact, just even showing up as much as he wanted to fight it, like, his eyes welling up. And
We
it's like,
saw
she
it.
still affects him as much as he hates it.
Episode.
Yeah. So she can, for a tiny little girl, like woman, she sure like causes a lot of drama.
I will give Lip a lot of credit because he did choose his words very carefully, and he knew he had to get out of there because if he kept talking to her, as you guys point out, he would have cried. But he said the word, you know, she says to him, I listened to your voicemail, and he was very specific in his answer, which was where I said, fuck you.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, he's trying to fight it, but my gosh.
I think he's come such a long way from where he was when she left, and I feel like her coming back, like he picked up all the pieces and he was finally moving on with his life, and now I feel like he's just gonna revert.
Oh, I do feel like though he recognizes how she is more, even like he said, I can't remember his exact term, when he basically said, you know, she created war basically between him and Mandy without even like getting dirty or even like
Yeah,
she just
dropped
drops
napalm.
Yeah. And so I think he's, you know, pretty smart and aware of
Yet he still goes
that
back
he
to
still,
her at the end of the
he still
episode.
wants to have sex with her. Yeah.
So who, you know, and forgive me, JJ, because I'm going to go to Kathy on this one just because she's a little bit new, but I'll answer too. Who's better, Mandy or her?
I think that Mandy is more loyal. I think that she would be better in the long run. I think that she is boring and they don't have as much chemistry. But I don't see anything good from Lip being with Karen whatsoever. I think Mandy is great in that she pushes him to take the SATs and to go to college and better his life, even if she knows that she's not going to be involved in it. And Karen is all about herself.
Okay. Now how would you define Karen's feelings towards Lip? Because in many ways for me, when Lip is getting a blowjob, he's just like, can I continue working? Like he's enjoying it, but again, he's not really in the moment. Whereas I feel that with Karen, while Lip's behind her, she's just like, all right, I'm gonna take it.
I feel like obviously Lip has more feelings for Karen than he does Mandy. If you break it down, he would, you know, go to Karen every single time, like if it was a choice between the two. And it's unfortunate. I feel like Karen is all about herself. I do genuinely believe that she has feelings for Lip, but she's also, you know, going to have sex with 12 other people while she's in a relationship with him. That's just what is always going to happen.
Okay, JJ, your thoughts?
I agree. I think, I mean, Mandy, you know, I've never been a huge fan of that whole storyline, and I did like V calling her Mandy Skankovich tonight, though, and then saying, should I just leave those classes?
I love how she's the good girl in this situation, the girl who's like the slutty, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but again, like, I don't think Karen brings anything good to Lip's life. You know, I just don't. I don't think she brings a positive thing. I mean, clearly they have a great, you know, great sexual chemistry, but she's kind of a bit like Frank. You know, she just uses people and whatever is going to be best for her, and then she can drop them like in a flash, and there's just no caring about anybody else's feelings or.
I was really hoping for reform.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do I think? Well, up until this point, I thought Karen was good. You know, I was sucked in because of everything, and you know.
From the previous seasons, even, or from this season?
From this season, you know, because again, like, you know, maybe in many ways, Lip remembers the past and things like that, but you tend to forget, you know, just even in life. And so I was kind of with Lip, where you know Mandy was getting on my nerves as she was to him. And so I was like, oh, gotta get Karen back. And when Karen finally came, I was like, yes, you know, now we can start something. But then seeing Karen's actions today, you know, towards Mandy, and not so much Mandy, I could understand that because you're trying to get your guy back, but towards Sheila, that's revealing.
I wanted the Mandy thing to end for a while now. I think that it's been overplayed a little bit, but I feel like with Karen coming back, I knew this, like the second that she said, when she showed her Paris tattoo and she's like, oh yeah, some guy stole all my money and tried to sell me to a sheik from Yemen, I knew that the only reason why she was coming back is because she was completely burnt out of all of her other options, and she was only coming back because she knew that someone would take care of her there. It wasn't because she was coming back because she had reformed and wanted to make nice with her family and her friends. It was because she had exhausted all of her options.
I feel like that too, but I feel like that's when, at a point when you hit rock bottom, and reform happens naturally through that. Out of the ashes comes the phoenix.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I thought when she first came back, we were going to see a little bit of a changed Karen too. So maybe I was just hoping and naive. What about the conversation that Lip had with Mandy in the room, where he was like, you know, I didn't ask you to, we didn't have this conversation. I didn't ask you to,
I'm glad that they finally had that conversation, because it's been a couple weeks coming where he feels like she is, you know, trying to make him into like this house husband of hers. And like, especially when her half sister was there and they were trying to play house, and Lip hasn't asked for any of that. All he wants is like someone to have sex with. That's really all he wants. And I don't think that he really cares about her. He's never going to, you know, be disloyal to someone that he is that close of friends with, but I don't think that he wants a relationship with her whatsoever.
But here's the thing. So I agree with you, but remember when Ian confronted him about this situation, and while it wasn't obviously to this extent, but he said, you know, you're being rude to Mandy.
Well, Fiona confronted him and said the opposite. I feel like he's kind of torn. Like he cares for her, but he wants someone else to be her knight in shining armor. He doesn't want to take that responsibility.
But he kind of did, because Fiona warned him that, like, if you do things like this for a girl like him, a girl, that was another character we had. Wait a second. Yeah, she's like that a girl like her, she's gonna think like the situation is more than it is, and you know, she kind of made him be aware of that. That's what he was doing, and he continued, you know, to do it. So
that's just his character. And Mandy has been there for him. She bailed him out of jail. She's done a lot of things for him, which, you know, shows that she puts him in front of her a lot of the time, but no.
Yeah, I mean, you know, realizing it now, they're both just not right for him.
Yeah, I agree.
We need a third girl.
New option.
Lip needs to have no girl for a while, get his act together, take the SATs, go to college, and just
like you said, when they're grabbing their
rocket scientist and make a lot of money and buy them a nice house.
Like when you said that when they're grabbing their lunches, you're like, where's he going? Where's he taking his lunch to? He's not in school.
Yeah, that is
true. What is he doing?
There was something shameless that I wanted to bring out that was about Karen and Lip or something, but I forget. Hopefully I'll remember it, and then, so don't be mad if I bring it up randomly in the midst conversation. All right. Before we move on, I do want to thank all of you guys. You know, a lot of you have been writing emails, a lot of you have been commenting on YouTube and iTunes, so we really appreciate that. Partly because we read it and it helps formulate our thoughts, and it's very cool seeing your guys' perspectives, because right now we're just three and we like to get the conversation started, but again, there's so many different takes on all of this, and so we appreciate that. So continue to do that, and tell a friend if nothing else. Don't have a friend, make a friend, as JC says on Bachelor. All right, let's talk about someone else who needs a friend, Chris.
Oh.
By the way, what I like this storyline because it felt very organic. You know, Frank needed somewhere to stay, and you know, obviously it's tied into AA and so many different levels of things. what was your guys' take on this? Do you like Chris? Do you like where this is going? Are you enjoying it?
I did enjoy it. I liked him. I thought he was cute. He was just this big, like, kind of sweet guy. And yeah, I just, I love the dynamic with them together. And I thought it was really refreshing and good.
I love the dynamic too. I think that it was really funny, and I knew something was off about him from the AA meeting. I feel like I've heard this storyline before, though, in other shows, and I can't think of the show that I've heard it in, though. And it wasn't Go On, even though I know that's about like group, but there's some other show, and if anyone knows it, please tweet it out or something. But there's another show that had someone who's not an alcoholic going to an
Dexter did that.
Yeah.
Dexter had him. Yeah, I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. He wasn't alcoholic.
It was someone who didn't have a problem. Like, it wasn't like they were a serial killer and went to an AA meeting. It wasn't like that.
Are you thinking of Fight Club? Because Fight Club kind of did that.
No, but I mean, that's my point, is that we've seen this so many writers have done it before, which is just kind of, I don't know. It works. I'm just saying it's overplayed.
Yeah, but I think we're going to get a different take on it. I mean, the one I can think of, again, is Fight Club, but it's not going to go to that level. We're not going to, I mean, it could get to that level because they both have weird ideologies on politics, but
as long as they leave the stuffed animals alone, I'm okay with it. But if stuff starts happening with those stuffed animals, Chris has got to go.
Dude.
That dog was... Can't take it.
But I just love Frank because, he puts himself into these situations, and he didn't have to go there, remember? Because he's walking out, and he realizes in that moment, wait, I don't have anywhere to stay. Let me get on this.
I want to know what happened to the old sponsor and why the old sponsor moved all the way to Florida.
Well, remember, we don't know that's the case. As we find out later, he just found him creepy, and he couldn't find him. So he might not be in Florida.
Yeah.
But I mean, you wouldn't find him creepy?
No, I completely find him creepy, and I feel like he's only going to get creepier. That's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe he wants to, like, be a taxidermist to people or something.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be something that,
weird.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you guys want to cut to what it's going to be? It's going to be the gay rights thing.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because, I mean, think about it. At the end, they both put on their, what do you call it? The black thing that goes over your eyes. Eye cover? Is that the term? I don't know. I don't have black.
My brother wears those when he sleeps. I think whatever they're
night
shades.
Look at that. I figured a girl, Martin. I figured.
What are those called?
We made it up if it is.
Martin, I asked two girls something, and I figured I would get an answer, but I didn't.
I don't know what a nightshade is.
It's a thing that, like, you wear on an airplane or something,
night blinder.
so that you, like, it covers your eyes so that you can't see any of the light.
Eye cover?
There you go. There you go. Let's go
I think they have a different name than that.
Yeah.
I will ask my brother because he's a dork and he wears it all the time.
Metard, retard nation. That's what we are. Oh my God, I'm gonna get so much hate mail for that. Okay, so but they were in the same bed, and obviously it's a one-bedroom apartment, but you could, obviously with the preview we know that's kind of where it's going. Yeah. And what I like about it is that Frank gets into these situations without thinking. For him it's always a short-term gain, but it ends up. It never really hurts him in the long term, realistically.
He's getting a steak dinner and wine out of it, so I don't think Frank's hurting at all.
Yeah, but
nice bed.
All of his actions, it's always fun because they affect the Gallagher house. Obviously by him calling child services, they could have lost their house. It doesn't affect Frank. In the short term maybe, but not in the long term. And so I'm excited to see how this kind of affects people.
I mean, he's done more for a buck before. Wasn't he, like, giving blowjobs to guys in bathrooms for, like, money that one time?
That is true. And think about it. Think about the size of a penis he can now take. After
being the mule?
Yeah, yes.
18.
Yeah. 18 I think it was actually 19 because he saved one for himself.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, just saying, I had to go there. I had to go there. And again, I like how he's trying to avoid him, and then, now booze is brought up, and he gets all the free booze that he wants. It's great. It's a good deal.
Yeah. He's also, I mean, that was kind of his situation with Sheila when he was living in her house. He was taking
Oh God.
Other
Oh
things
well,
of the
yeah.
butt.
That's the whole
Yeah.
reason why you can take 19.
Sheila trained him well.
Same situation.
Oh,
just different
this is
person.
what I was gonna say. I loved when Jodie's like, put on some pants.
Oh yeah.
I'm recovering.
I'm recovering.
I'm hypersensitive. I thought that was really funny.
That is another messed up situation. That almost parallels V and Kev's situation right now, except everyone's willing with Sheila and Karen.
And they're not doing it at the same time. They're not having a threesome.
It's close enough.
But still awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jodie could definitely take it to that level
Yeah.
if they were all willing.
Yeah, I think he'd definitely be game for that.
Just that scene of him just blowing himself last time. That was just.
Extremely flexible.
I just want to say, last episode, I know I wasn't here for the after show, but last episode, when Sheila was just like, I just don't find love being, having sex with my boyfriend on a tarp with 6 other dudes or whatever it was.
It's great because she's trying to choose her words so carefully and just the specifics of what she goes to. Like most people would just be like, I'm just not, I'm not really into sex toys or whatever.
Yeah.
But the specific level that she goes to.
Oh,
is great.
she is into sex toys though. It's different. I think the way that she phrases it is just so cute because it seems so innocent when you know that she's not.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they definitely have problems. Speaking of, this is not going to be a fun transition, but speaking of retards, if you don't know what super retard strength is, go see Adventures of Serial Buddies. Out in theaters as we speak. It stars Christopher Lloyd, Christopher McDonald, Artie Lang, Kathy Lee Gifford, Maria Menounos from Two Broke Girls, Beth Bears. It's got George Mirasan from My Giant. It's got David Preval from The Sopranos. I mean, could I just tell you who's not in the movie? That might be faster.
And I saw it today, and there's a cameo by Mr. Phil.
Yes.
And I would like you to one day, please, for Shameless, wear your stash in here.
My stash?
Yes. Yes, maybe the finale, something.
I mean, for those of you who have not seen the movie, I'm in the movie. I'm wearing. Here's what I was actually wearing.
Hair.
I was wearing facial hair for the reason that I was working on the movie and I didn't have time to shave because I didn't have time to sleep, let alone shave. And so that's how that came about.
So is that real?
Yes.
Wow. It was quick because
I got killed.
So it was quick, but I was like, oh, I think he had a huge mustache.
He was in the roller rink scene as well. So
I was a kangaroo.
Cameos.
I was looking for you in there too, but I was like, he's got to know where you were coming. But
I know.
But it's a hilarious movie, so you should all check it out.
It's about 2 serial killers that are in the vein of Dumb and Dumber, and they kill, and it's funny.
They end up becoming friends.
Yeah, so it's a good moral story.
We can't say it's a family movie, but it has a good moral to the
maybe
story.
a Shameless family kind of movie.
I think so. I think Carl got some ideas.
Oh yeah. Carl. Can we?
Go
should
ahead.
we talk about him? We're getting to sorry.
We're getting there. Well, before we get to Carl, let's talk about Jimmy and their new jobs and also their relationship. And Kathy, I know you have some. I don't know if you would call them pet peeves, but you grew up in Chicago.
Yes, I grew up in Chicago, and I grew up in the suburbs, but I actually lived right downtown in River North. And Jimmy says I forget the driver's name, the one who's babysitting him.
I love how he becomes the chauffeur.
I love how he becomes a chauffeur too, and the reasoning is great. He's like, well, would you rather sit in your car and drive me somewhere, or would you rather hop on the L or have to get out of your car, park it somewhere, hop on the L after me as I go up to River North and have dinner with my buddies? But Jimmy said, I want to go to Chicago and LaSalle. And I used to live 2 blocks away from there. And I can tell you that there are no nice restaurants within a couple blocks of there. He should have said a different street, because that cross street is Moody Bible Institute, the bookstore for that. A block away, there's one of the most ghetto McDonald's in all of Chicago.
Maybe they upped it.
And I mean, there are a bunch of apartment buildings, but no, I'm positive there's a Chick-fil-A a couple blocks away. If you'd gone 2 blocks in any other direction, there are some nicer places. But then
maybe they did, and
they strolled down.
No, I'm just saying that it's you would have said like Chicago and Erie, or you would have said Michigan and like Chicago. There are different places that he could have gone, And
what's awesome is that because of this fact, the whole fabric of the Shameless universe has been.
I'm done.
There are different places he could have said to go.
You can put up with Retard Nation. You can put up with girls with penises, but wrong restaurant in Chicago. She's done watching.
Just because I know the restaurants around there, and he could have gone to a million other cross streets, and it would have been okay. That cross street.
Suspend your disbelief.
Like,
you know how many Boston?
going?
You know how many Boston TV shows and movies I watch that are just just suspend your disbelief. But okay, speak to the fact of him growing up in a rich neighborhood in Chicago, and now the fact that he's got cockroaches or whatever.
Slumming it.
There you go.
You could say that. I mean, he grew up in Lakeview, which is one of the nicer neighborhoods. It's definitely a lot nicer than the South Side. And I think it is different. I mean, that's the thing with Chicago, though, is there are people who are millionaires and there are people who are on food stamps who take the L, which is just the public transportation, the train. So I feel like he would be used to, different levels of society. Like, he wouldn't be only hanging out with rich people. That's just the fact. I don't know how to explain Chicago. I mean,
the politics and the demographics and the socioeconomics.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, it is very diversified within each neighborhood. I don't think that you're going to find, people who are on food stamps living in a high rise on Lake Michigan, or like on the shoreline. But
yeah, no, you made a good point. Obviously, Jimmy's buddies come into the picture as he's working as a barista. Is he he's just in training so far? Who knows? But
I loved what he said. He's like, "Oh, I'm just a manager. They make you do this to
before you can own before you can own a franchise." But you had made a good point. Remember, this from past seasons ago, that he was attending, or he lied about attending, right?
Mm-hmm. He lied about attending Michigan. He said that he was at the top of his class, so his parents wouldn't be suspect when he wasn't around, and he was actually still in Chicago stealing cars.
Here's what I liked. Here's what I liked about the storyline is that him having dinner with his buddies. See, I mean, he was. You talk about a look. That wasn't the look, but that was the look of like, I wish I could.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with that. So he and especially like with all the odd jobs he's taken now, I think he's starting to really question his decisions.
Well, he even gave the girl at the coffee shop the look as well. She denied him. The brunette, he eyed her, and she's like,
oh yeah, because he was just failing at his job.
Yeah.
And she, well, partly because she, do you think that look from her to him was due to the fact that he was lesser than her, so to speak?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think and we saw this in the last episode, I think he's starting to resent Fiona. I feel like he is going to start blaming all of his problems on her, which, I mean, some of them might be. Obviously, stealing cars and dropping out of med school is not her fault at all. But I feel like he even said last episode, right? He said, she didn't ask me if we should be guardians to all of these kids. She didn't ask me my opinion on all of these things. And, I feel like he's going to start blaming this lower level job on Fiona. He's going to blame these things on Fiona, and then I feel like it might lead to their demise.
I feel like.
Do you think it's already beginning, where, he's saying to her, and it seems genuine, you, me, we, but I think he's saying it what she doesn't realize, he's saying it in a spiteful way. You, me, we. These are our problems.
Yeah, I think that, I think he's clearly, they're definitely going to be on different, they're already on different pages now. It's like for him not being able to suck it up and take the, cleaning out the bugs and the crap that they were, or like she said, she wants her man to be there by her side doing it. So he can't take that kind of stuff, and I think he really likes this other lifestyle. And I think he feels like now he's looking at situations feeling like he never is a part of, like you said, he's never a part of what she decides to do. She just kind of does it and then tells him, and he's expected to be on board with all the choices that she makes. And I think he's going to see that if he doesn't make a choice that's going to be his lifestyle. And I think he likes the more of the rich and the,
Should he be consulted, though? I feel like all of her choices are made for her family.
Yeah.
And while she doesn't consider him, it's because a lot of these choices have to be made in the moment, and he's not around. He's doing something else.
Yeah.
He is having sex with another girl, like in a loft. Like he's doing all of these other things, and I feel like she shouldn't have to include him in those choices. I mean, she should, but a lot of the time she isn't able to.
And he's not bringing much to the table to help her, you know.
No.
So.
And I mean, if he wanted to live in a loft and live in luxury and find a nicer job, he could. It's his choice to be with Fiona. So if he wants to do it, he just needs to accept what's going on.
That's true. Well, I commend Fiona for. It seems like she still believes in the love. Is she fooled? I don't know. I'm excited where it's going.
I definitely do think she is fooled right now because, like you said, he's got this whole other side life that she knows nothing about. You know, so
she kind of knows about it, but not really. Not to the extent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think partly a lot of his decisions in tonight's episode are, okay, I'm going to do my own thing because why ask Fiona? She never asked me. So,
which isn't going to help at all. That
No.
is not the way to solve problems. You have to talk them out.
No. No. Don't take advice from me, people. You know who's really good? Martin, I'm going to start you up with your own show.
Why?
Because I like one of our hosts said about Martin, who's in the booth, by the way, that Martin's happily married. How many years now?
Almost 2.
Almost 2. Yeah, I wanted to say, but you've been going out 8 years, right?
We've been going out, yeah, for 8 years.
Yeah, so that's a happy couple right there. Martin's gonna give relationship advice.
I should. All right, I'm in.
There you go. So call Martin, not me. All right, let's get to the house. Patrick, the meat of the story, and what I liked was the deadline kept decreasing. You know, we had to make decisions fast, and obviously that helped with the Jimmy storyline because Fiona was forced to make decisions to the point that she was looking for a new apartment. What a shit apartment.
Yeah.
Where was that, Kathy?
That was so bad. It's somewhere probably on the south side, but even worse location. I don't know.
And what is the price? Like I don't know how does the pricing work?
Pricing for Chicago houses or apartments?
Yeah, houses for rent.
It depends on what location you're in. For a River North apartment, you can get one, like a studio apartment, for $1,100 at the lowest in River North, and that's one of the nicer neighborhoods. Same with like Lakeview. I think it's going to start around $1,000 for a studio apartment. For the south side, there are parts in the south side that are nicer, like around a Soldier Field. It's going to be like a little bit more expensive because they are newer, higher end lofts. But when you get even further south, which is where I think they live, it's cheaper.
I'm just asking because I know with Boston you can kind of go out of the city and you could find a house for pretty much like $600 a month.
No,
and
it really
but it's not going to
depends.
be. It's going to be like a frat house. You know, it's going to look, but it's not going to look to that level where crack pipes and stuff.
I don't think they went out to the suburbs. I mean, a lot of the suburbs are nicer, and some of them are more expensive than the city. So it really depends. I think that they are still in the city, and I'm going to say like a lot of the places on the south side are not good areas, so they're going to be cheaper.
By the way, I loved. You know what was nice? It was a really nice device where they're all kind of meeting together and they're going with the list of options. You know, because all these options sort of play into the storyline. It was a good indicator for the audience members. Okay, here's the different options we in fact do have, and we'll see in tonight's episode. Kill Patrick.
That was number
Option 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Why exhaust all the other ones or whatever the phrase was. So speaking about that, what I love about Carl is the fact that, you know, in his brain, there are no repercussions. It's let's do this. You know, I can't get caught. Mm-hmm. And obviously he doesn't, but it was very funny. I didn't think he'd take it that level.
I didn't either. He's like, yeah, he's so bold this season. Like, you can just see his little brain, like, taking everything in and then plotting, like, and just, you know, like we said when we were watching it, we thought, okay, he's paying attention to find out what disease this guy has. You know, does he have cancer? What's going on? So we thought maybe he's going to mess with his meds or do something, but none of us saw the rat poison coming.
No.
So,
that was awesome.
great.
I mean, like, I know that it's bad for for Carl to murder someone, but it was so hilarious when he was, like, reading off the list of symptoms. He's like, I think it was V was just like, what's wrong with him? Like, why is he puking on the, like, who is that puking on the curb and, or on his Timberlands? And Carl was just like, well, he's puking because
he's like, he's nauseous.
Yeah. And death.
Like dizzy and
shortness of breath and death.
That's great.
And you know, we've I don't know, we've always joked about him being Killer Carl, and we and we've made predictions on AfterBuzz where he will be this kind of guy. But I did like Fiona's little speech with him, like, could we just get on the same page?
Yeah.
Killing people is not good.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they actually were, you know, had this talk at 14.
Carl,
How old is he?
I mean, I think he's 13 or so. 13, 14. But
sure.
I love how he's kind of grown into this character. Like, before it was just, you know, he would light off fireworks or he would do something, he would, you know, murder a cat or like a, you know, whatever it is. It was just like little things. And now there's actually meaning behind it. It's not just him being destructive. He's actually being destructive for a purpose, even though it doesn't look like it. So, like, when he was at camp, he, like, was being a little, you know, BS starter because he wanted to see someone's boobs. Like, he just wanted to be happy because he thought he was dying.
He wanted to bring joy to his friend.
Yeah.
Exactly. So all of these things that he's doing have a purpose behind them. Whether they're a good purpose or a bad purpose, it's still a purpose. So
yeah,
I think he's coming into his own. Like, when he was in the gay couple's house with Liam, he peed on a couch and, you know, had Liam color all over the walls for a purpose.
Yeah.
So.
And in terms of getting Patrick out, by the way, what did you guys think of the funeral? we should mention at least a little bit something about that. I mean, just, I love Patrick. Like, hey, can we talk about when the pain subsides tomorrow? I mean, so clearly it's obviously he knows that this is all fake and all that, but I like that would put him at odds.
What about his tender words for her as well? Like, what was the old lady that he's like?
It was Frank who was amazing at that. You know,
Yeah.
and pointing out the one woman who did it better. And
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
oh my gosh.
I tried to write that down, but I didn't get it down.
All right, then let's talk about what actually did perspective. Let's talk about Mickey real fast, and you know how that was just kind of a recipe for disaster. I at least felt that going into it. Like, this is, you know, there's what's called half measures, right? And you can't, a guy like that, you can't scare, because then it's just going to escalate, right? It's like the Cold War. Like, you get a gun, then I get a bigger gun. You get a blah, blah, and it just escalates to nuclear war. So by sending Mickey in, you knew, for me, I knew it was going to escalate it, and it was just trouble. Like, you either, right? The option was you either kill him or you don't kill him. There's no in between.
Yeah.
And how did you guys feel about that plan, the Mickey plan?
I agree with you. I thought, there was no room for, like, just trying to scare him. And plus, I'm sure he has all his guys, like, that then would come back and just do the next retaliation to them. So, yeah, I agree with you. I thought he needed to just, it was really sloppy on Mickey's part.
Mm-hmm.
Very sloppy.
And last time Mickey went into a house with a gun, he got shot. I just don't see why he keeps doing this.
I don't know.
Not the sharpest guy.
No, he is not. But Debbie, certainly sharp.
Love her so much.
Here's the really messed up part. Her journey in this season of being exposed to phallic objects, for lack of a better term, has really paid off. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it was great. First off, it was great to see that cop back. You know, I thought that was really nice.
Isn't he dating Emmy Rossum in real life, the actor?
Oh,
I think he is. Sorry, I just
look up the news and gossip.
Yeah.
That's say. I didn't know that. But good to see him back. Obviously, you know, there was that whole storyline in I think up until season 2, and no one knew where Debbie was going with this. Her talking about candy and oh man,
so great.
So
I love her.
quick
Like
on her feet
yeah,
too.
I think she's really like watched Fiona a lot, so she's kind of growing into the same type where she's like, you know, she's willing to do whatever she has to do for the family and to keep the, you know, Gallagher strong. And but it's just so cute. Like I love her voice, and I could just, I don't know. I do love the
Smart little girl.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
gosh, to come up with that and to be so convincing.
Yeah.
Oh
And I
my
love
gosh.
Fiona's little face when she just like looked at her so proud,
the
covering it
big
up. Yeah, she was just like, you know, she's like brilliant. It was just the cutest little moment. I loved it.
yes. Now, Kathy, you had an issue with the debate outside, right? In terms of the pricing for the house.
Oh yeah, I feel like they should have negotiated it to be free. That's just me. I mean, they already have money problems, and even $500 a month is gonna be hard for them to get, even if that is for the next 50 years.
Hey, I mean, hey, give it like 3 more years, and that's going to be like $25 a month, the equivalent.
I understand that it would cost a lot of money to get a lawyer and all of those things, but getting a lawyer, what, a few $1,000s? That's half a year's of what you're going to be paying in rent to this guy. So why not still try to do option 2 and claim that it was, you know, the aunt wasn't of sound mind or whatever it is, or show that it was a forged signature or something like that.
It's just the battle. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. But I love how it concluded. I thought it was great. I actually did want Patrick dead, but when they brought this device in with Debbie, I thought it was excellent. So,
Yeah.
all in all, a very good episode. Anything that you guys thought was just funny in general, such as you know, I thought Chody telling Karen to put on pants. I thought that was funny. But any little moments like that you guys found hilarious that we might have missed?
I had a quote from Frank. The man who lost his job and banged his sister-in-law. That's my Friday night. That was a good one.
That was hilarious. I just wanted to get more into Karen, like, splitting up everyone, Lip and Mandy.
Well,
And I don't know.
that's coming. So speaking of that, let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, so to the Karen point, I think that is coming.
Yeah.
How far is it going to go?
I feel like she's going to try to take it all the way. While she says that she's happy that Lip is happy, I genuinely don't believe it after some of the things that she did this episode.
JJ.
Yeah, I agree. She's shady. I don't trust her at all. I don't know. Bad news for Lip if he falls back for that one.
I think you know, we're entering episode 9. We're gonna slightly veer off path again. You know, just because they have to kind of continue things up into, and then obviously it'll be wrapped by the season end. I'm excited to see. I think they'll spend a lot of time with Frank and the gay rights.
Yeah.
Which is going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. Mandy.
They're all turning into activists.
Yes, they are. Mandy seems like she's going to have a prominent role in this whole thing. There's a fight between Ian and Mickey. Mm-hmm. So, does love win or does love lose?
I think love is going to lose with them. I don't know. I don't see a happy ending for those two. Mm-hmm. I have another prediction with Jimmy. I think the chauffeur driver, or the guy tonight, was not his trailer guy, is going to somehow be the key to getting him out of that situation.
Out of what situation?
The situation with the wife and the, like, I think they're going to get in like a showdown with the...
I honestly don't think he's going to try to fight to get out of that situation much longer, because I think he's going to be done with the Gallaghers for a while. I think he's going to bail for a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's going to tap out. And with that, I think we're going to tap out for this week. Thank you guys for joining us. Where can they find you, Kathy Kelly?
They can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly.
And JJ?
I'm at JJ Jurgens.
And we're, of course, here at AfterBuzz TV. Rate and comment, subscribe, tell a friend. And, of course, this week, go to see Adventures of Serial Buddies at AMC Theaters in select cities. That's Boston, New York, Chicago!
My mom went to Chicago's.
Yay! Get all the Gallaghers in there. San Francisco, and of course Los Angeles. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you here next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.